Yes, sirski, all praise the most high. You see, that's it. All praise the most high. Give you through all my love God, to love yours, to love others. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. I know y'all want to become a love member. Come on, be part of the love tribe. Hit the little notification bell. I'm gonna send you that love mail. I'm trying to do this at 8 a.m. Now we're gonna keep it at 9. 9 a.m. 8 a.m., 8 p.m. We're just gonna go over the Sagon Penn story again today. It's no secret I'm working on a documentary. Want to do a whole bunch of San Diego stories, so it's only right. Let y'all see what I see. Y'all will hear the commentations. As always, I hope everybody been having a lovely and grateful day. Drop what you grateful for in the comments. Drop one thing you loved about today, and drop one person you love. Something I had actually learned from Eric Thomas. Put the ones you love on your screensaver and the date that you want to change their life. Having that date, writing things down is very important. I wrote a whole bunch of things down today. I wasn't going to post it, but decided not to. I'm just going to chill off for the posting for a little bit. Get back to it. Get to tripping with Snoop. We get an episode with my bro, Bryson. That's coming very soon. Appreciate bro. Appreciate everybody reaching out to get with the tripping with Snoop. We building this platform. Don't keep it going. It's only right. We're going to talk about youth coaching. We're going to talk about the black dollar. And going to the Sagon Penn, a black self-defense. This is something that we need to do. I remember being taught, if you kick, you a sissy. I don't love. I don't like that. You feel me? When I get in them the combat gyms and they be whooping me. I don't love. I ain't gonna lie. Because I don't know how to kick. And I want to get that black belt. But we're gonna get into the content. Appreciate everybody who in here right now. This to the stage, just Sirski. Boom. Y'all know the saying, man. Patience is a virtue. Yes, sir. Boom, right there. Y'all see where it's at. And we in there. Classic swimwear. This is so dope right here. Sagon Penn. I've been planning in my brain to do a documentary on this for the last 10 years. I talked to a son. I'm just going to work on documentaries and put my documentary together of footage. And then I'll go with interviews. Anybody in San Diego who knew Sagon Penn, I'd love to interview you. But this is just a dope story. I claim any claim to self, but I'm going to let y'all get to it. Crip or blood. Come on. Go look this up yourself. I need a statue in the Southeast. It ain't playing. My bad, my bad. Y'all start me out. Here we go. Sirski. I claim myself. This is why I want to learn law. That's why I've been looking up a whole bunch of San Diego cases. I just look at the name, Google the name.
At that time, I was, as I am now,
Get to it.
The Korean art, military or martial art of Taekwondo.
Turn. Now what's pointing at you? My what? My butt.
In his training, he learned to
Defend
himself against singular as well as multiple attackers. Much of the time in fighting in class, he would fight as many as 5 individuals at one time. He also learned to take individuals on who were armed with knives.
Goes. We got to arm our young kings like this.
You name it. various kinds of weapons. And he was very, very adept. In fact, he also participated in tournament martial art, and he was one of the nation's top martial artists.
I'm gonna chill back.
One of the
Let y'all watch this.
on a national basis and on a state level basis in literally every single contest he entered.
If I'm standing here, it allows me, quick moment, here. Pacho! Pacho! Okay?
And when he made the decision to take a life based on his own personal interpretation that his life was in danger, he was of the impression that he had to do what he did to save his life. Had nothing to do with pride, had nothing to do with anything except survival.
Oh, no. You just do things like that. You don't do things like that, you know. He's never been in no trouble. He's always good, peaceful, never getting in no fights or anything like that.
The suspect and his grandfather came in, and his grandfather said that his grandson wanted to turn himself in.
Did he say for what?
He just said that he had shot an officer.
At this point, I don't see that who threw the first blow or how the thing started is really that important. The events occurred, the officers were shot, the civilian was shot, and the man turned himself in a short time later.
I believe that every person should have a right to a fair trial. It is not my place to make judgments. The police department investigated this situation. The district attorney charged the man with murder.
And what is your plea? Not guilty, sir.
You have a right to be filed within 60 days of the time that the information was filed. You waive that time?
Yes, sir.
Daddy, my daddy, do you ever get scared? Why do people want to hurt you when you go out there? Well, little darling, he said, God's watching me, and I'll always be careful. I promise you'll see.
None of us will ever forget the 9 times that this has happened in the last 10 years, or the men and women who have given their lives to support the people of this community and to uphold the laws of our city, our state, and our country.
I think it's a pretty big struggle because the people of my generation do not sympathize too much with Mr. Penn because they don't understand. They don't understand the situation. But I try to.
I could see by this case because I knew Sagon personally. I knew he wasn't a person, evil that just go off on somebody. So I know they must have done something really bad to him because he wouldn't have done that. So I guess, it's doing the right thing by everybody coming out here and supporting him because he was a good person and he got done wrong.
I personally want to thank everybody for being here and for showing support, not just for the Riggs family, but for the families of all of the officers who have given their lives in the line of duty.
How about the people in the neighborhood? Aren't they important too, Chief Covender?
I hope you're the people in the neighborhood. I don't know what he's talking about.
I can ask the question. I'm concerned.
Anyway, one heckler out of several hundred, no biggie.
Can I smell his breath? I can do drinking.
Hey, why don't you film something else? Come on.
We hope that we will all come together and find out what can we do to mend these differences. Does the color of your skin has to make a difference whether or not you're human? Does the color of your skin designate pain or love? Does the color of your skin means I'm better than you or less than you, regardless of what happened? These vigils are being held all over right now. I mean, I understand that they're having one at 7, and they're in mourning for the son that's dead. I'm in mourning for mine that's being killed or almost killed.
This is the verdict with regard to count 1, the charge of first-degree murder. The verdict reads, we, the jury, in the above entitled cause, find the defendant, Sagon Penn, not guilty of the crime of first-degree murder. It's one of those cases that should be retried, and we've made our decision based upon what we think is a prosecutable case. We're going to have a different jury, and I think that'll make a big difference.
Today, the Sagon Penn Defense Committee is presenting petitions to the District Attorney's Office demanding that all charges against Sagon Penn be dropped immediately. Getting these signatures was extremely easy. All we had to do was ask. In fact, people thanked us for giving them the opportunity to sign the petition and to express their opposition to the retrial of Sagon Penn.
Now, when you have a case like Sagon Penn, a case of a black man who killed a police officer in San Diego, who was acquitted by a jury of first-degree murder, that is incredible. It's too incredible to allow a black man to get away with the murder of a police officer, so he must be retried, even though in the first trial, the verdict was 11-1 for acquittal on the lesser charges.
Escape! 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 When we headed for home from the park that day, we had no intention that this day would stay with me in the others for the rest of our lives. Cause what happened that day just wasn't right. Because me, Ricky, don't got a big surprise. When all we really wanted was to catch a ride. Was this meant to be, or was it just bad luck? What Rick and I witnessed on the back of a truck. Cause when they pull Penn over and that's his ID, the rest of that story is history. Escape! Escape! Escape!
So that proved we're just a band group, you know. We're just a rap group, singing group, or whatever you want to call it. And I guess because they saw, because Ricky had a jacket on that said the Mighty Key Gang on the back of the truck, the time of the incident happened, that was why they said gang.
They probably
the reason they said gang is because they saw a lot of black young kids, and that's why they said.
They probably seen just letters on the back of my jacket because gang is like this, Mighty Key Gang, Mighty Key is like this, and the gang is like this.
My attention focused on one individual in the bed of the truck. He had a black golf type hat on and a black shirt.
Did that mean anything to you as any relationship to any gang?
Those are colors and type of hat as a gang type hat, and the colors indicate crib.
They told us to get off the truck, you know. So one of the cops, which one it was, I don't know, asked us to get off the truck. And I said, okay. So everybody jumped off, you know. And I remember one of them walking up to Sagon asking for his ID.
He held out his wallet.
And what did you do when he held out his wallet?
I said that I couldn't take his wallet, that I needed to see his driver's license.
What did he do?
He said something similar to the license is in the wallet.
What did you say?
Said I can't take the wallet. I need to see your driver's license.
After the second time saying that, what did he do?
I think I requested it again for the license, and then he turned around and started to walk away.
Sagon looked like he got frustrated with them questioning him to the extent he just wanted, here's the ID. I'm not a crook, take my ID. It's not like I committed a murder or something, And then all of a sudden, he turned in frustration and they pulled him back around. I mean, Jacobs, not they. Jacobs twirled him around and Sagon backed up. All of a sudden, sticks began to swinging and flowing.
Well, on Sunday afternoon, I was watching TV. My girl looked out the window. Now, what did she see? She saw two officers, the Sagon Penn and the truckload, of the rest of my friends. She said, hey, look, baby, something just ain't right. Those two officers and their brother go fight. Penn turned away in his frustration, trying to avoid the situation. The two officers, they reacted quick and didn't hesitate to use the stick because they was beating them down.
Sagon wasn't saying nothing, but why was they beating him up? And he was holding his hands like this, asking them why was they beating him up? For no reason.
You were on top of Mr. Penn, and that they heard you say while you were on top of Mr. Penn, striking him with your fists, you think your bad boy I'm gonna beat your black ass. Or you think you're bad, nigger, I'm gonna beat your black ass. Words to that effect. Those aren't words that you would say.
No, they are not.
And you're sure you didn't say them?
I'm positive I did not say them. I know myself real well.
He said, put your hands behind your back or I'm going to kick your ass or something like that.
Well, that's the first time you've ever testified to that.
Well, that's because I just, I'm recalling it in my mind and that's what I heard.
Everything they said, it was like, you black mother effer. And it was just black, and nigger. And it wasn't nothing nice in there.
All right, it's not nice or whatever you want to use the word to see uniformed police officers, people that other people respect, using profanity. I say now that's a bad image for us to have. But we got a tough job to do out there, and there's a lot of tools that we can use in getting that job done. And part of that is to use professional profanity. And if you can use a key word here and there to keep a situation from getting out of hand or from having to make an arrest, let's use that word, that professional profanity instead.
The main problem with San Diego, as I see it, is racism. The police department is inundated with racist, bigots, dishonest white supremacists. I can't say this in court because I mentioned racism and they get all upset. We are the victims of racism. We can utter the word that comes out of my mouth. I recognize a racist as soon as I recognize a bee flying from my face. I know the difference. We know the difference. We eat, live, and die the difference.
I asked them, weren't they afraid they were going to lose their job beating that man like that in front of all these witnesses?
Did you say anything else?
I asked them, is that how they got the stripes on their shoulder? Beating people upside the head.
Did you say anything else?
Not that I can remember. I asked the lady to go call some other officers so that they could see what was going on.
But when Smitty had said that, I was already on the phone calling. I was right there on the phone. And it's like I didn't know what to say. I did not know what to say.
For the minority community, again, it's no illusion that it's an us against them feeling. And that is one that was initiated by the police department. When you talk about possible solutions, you always hear them talk about continuing education. Well, when they talk about education, they talk about the community. The minority community has been educated. We know wrong when we feel it. Educate some of those other people in terms of what is proper police conduct in the minority community.
He was attacking Officer Riggs and you hit him four or five times, and you don't recall him having any reaction to it?
That's what I recall.
And you hit him as hard as you could?
I hit him hard, not as hard as I could, but I did hit him hard.
Okay. What was your objective in hitting him?
Cause him to cease the attack on Tom.
It was basically Officer Jacobs and the driver who was in the actual scuffle.
Boom, boom, I said, I couldn't believe it. He punched me, and then the other one, he started coming at me. I said, please, don't, what's going on? Why you guys doing this? Why you guys doing this? What's the matter? What's the matter? I didn't do nothing. What's the matter? And then the other one, I couldn't believe it. He reached down into his holster and pulled out the billy club. And I said, wow, I can't believe it. Like if he wanted to just kill me, he could have just shot me and put me on my misery if he hates me or something for whatever reason. But then he just seemed like they was trying to kill me, but they wanted me to feel a lot of pain first.
There was one officer sitting on top of him, holding him down and hitting him at the same time.
Was that Officer Jacobs?
Yes, it was.
And did you observe Officer Riggs?
Yes, he was standing above him.
Did you observe what he was doing?
Yes, he was hitting him with a stick.
The officer that was on top of him, straddling him, he said, you think you're bad? You think you're bad? Nigger, I'm gonna beat your ASS.
You honestly thought that the officers were going to kill Mr. Penn right there in front of 50 people?
Yes,
You honestly did believe that?
yes. I mean, the way they were beating him.
So when you say that wasn't called for or something like that, you don't really know what preceded that. In other words, what went before it?
No, I mean, a guy walking back, back this way, an officer comes, straddle him, and just beat him. Is that the way they protect and serve?
The police in America theoretically belong to the people. It's been said before, and I echo that sentiment. We are the people's police. We are all the people's police. We are the police of people of color. We are the police. I find it interesting that these words antagonize and anger. They are human beings. They are not pigs. And they are very fine human beings. They are very fine human beings for the most part.
So what's that?
And
They come to our neighborhood, then they become pigs.
The crowd had moved within inches of my face, and I remember thinking that I was going to get my face kicked in by somebody in the crowd.
Did it appear to be a hostile crowd?
I recall thinking about it and thinking that it was hostile, yes. Nobody was helping them.
You thought they were a hostile crowd?
I remember thinking that, yes.
Do you know what might have caused them to be hostile?
I don't know.
Were they yelling something like kill the pigs or snuff the honkies or anything along those kinds of lines?
I don't remember what they said. I just remember thinking they were hostile.
Beating him down, they had him on the ground, sitting on his chest, and here's a short way to conclude the rest. Something didn't happen that wasn't expected, and there's no way that he could detect it. So what he had to do was just accept it. Can't look in the mirror because it ain't reflected. He grabbed that gun and got self-protected because that was his life and he couldn't neglect it. Escape, 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 escape.
Officer Jacobs had the driver around the neck with his clothing, and the driver had the pistol pointed up between his arms, and he had it at a lower level and then moved it, and he moved it several times upward.
I remember seeing his face and the gun in a flash.
And you got shot in the left side of the neck?
Yes.
The police officer with the blonde hair was on your chest, had his hand on your throat, and holding one arm, you took his gun from him. You shot which officer first?
When I had the gun on him, the one standing right there kicked my arm. And that one that was over me punched me in my face.
And which one?
And the blast went off.
Which one did you shoot first?
The blast went off on the one that was on top of me when the one kicked me.
The blonde hair.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you got the cap dropped on him first.
Don't for nothing like that.
Well, you say blast, I say shot. We're going to have to agree on order here.
I'm just agreeing on what I just said.
Okay.
We made the call. Angela made the call. She got hysterical in the middle of the call, passed the phone to Daria. Daria got hysterical. That's when the fire shot off, dropped the phone, and I drug Angie and pushed Daria out of the way of the doorway because they stand in the middle of the doorway. Bullets have no name on them.
We had eye contact, and then the next thing that I looked at was the barrel of the gun, and I knew he was going to shoot me in the face. So I turned to my right, away from the gun, so that I guess I didn't want to get shot in the face.
The woman in the car, I don't even know where her mind is, and if she's thinking the same way these two is thinking. So then that's why that happened. That happened with her. Boom, boom.
But we stared at each other for a second or two.
Boom, boom.
Yes.
Okay.
We need help. We need help.
What is your exact location?
Turn around the right along with Rick. 2 officers down. I'm the right along and I've been shot. I don't know the location.
Where have you been hit?
In the back and in the side. And the officers, I can hear them moaning.
I remember hearing an engine, car engine revving.
What was going through your mind at that time?
I thought that I was going to be run over.
What happened then?
I got run over. this is the first time I felt any pain. I felt like my chest was crushed, and I remember thinking that the cavalry was going to get there soon.
Escape! 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 You jump in the car to make a quick getaway.
In on the way to Grandpa's house to God, he did pray.
Lost and confused, cause committed a sin.
Grandpa did the right thing.
Said, boy, turn yourself in. So down to the shaking, he was shaking like hell because he had shot a cop and was headed for jail.
And when he told me that, you know, when he had to do it in self-defense, then I said, well, then you want to go turn yourself in? He said, yeah. So I opened up the door and looked out the door, and the police car was sitting in front of my driveway there with the lights blinking. So I told him, you got to move the police car in order for me to get out my car out of the driveway there, you know, see. So he went out and moved the police car out the driveway there, and he come back, and he said, there's a gun in the police car, we want to turn it in too, you know, see. So I told him, I said, no, I said, leave that there, we don't take nothing. So we got in my car and came on down to the police station, and he turned himself in.
99.5% of the population would have been controlled in this situation by the police officers. Who's creating the problem? Sagon Penn.
Everywhere that Donovan Jakes goes, there's danger. Whether it's there when he starts or not, if it ain't there, he'll make it. He'll make it a hot time in the old town tonight because he's out there getting the job done. Wearing that badge.
You have got to stand off and look at the evidence and the testimony that you've heard and seen and make a determination based on that, without these things, without these emotions, without prejudice, without passion.
Well, Dr. King, the dream is here. We may not have reached the promised land yet, but we have, as Americans, turned our backs on bigotry and hatred and race prejudice and the image of a police officer sitting on top of a black man, beating him in the face, telling him as if he's a nigger and that he's going to beat his black ass. We've turned our back on that.
He wouldn't. He wouldn't let himself be handcuffed. And that's when the penultimate event occurred, when he was trying to handcuff him. He led Jacobs into believing he was submitting. Jacobs got the handcuffs, the gun came out, and the shots were fired.
And 3 or 4 adult people there believed that he was going to be killed. And ladies and gentlemen, when you have to call the police to stop the police, then you have a rather poor society indeed.
Yes, there is a system of justice in San Diego. Yes, there is guilt in the Sagon Penn case. And yes, Sagon Penn is guilty.
The verdict, CR 74094 in the people of the state of California versus Sagon Penn. Verdict: we, the jury in the above entitled case, find the defendant Sagon Penn not guilty of the crime of voluntary manslaughter in violation of Penal Code Section 192 as charged in the amended information, victim Thomas Riggs. Dated July 10th, 1987, signed Howard C. McDowell. Verdict:
Every word, Mr. Penn. How do you feel?
I'm looking at an exhilarating day for you.
Go, man.
What do you think the jury said?
I figured he's been acquittal of myself.
Everyone is scarred and hurt. You know, man's dead, one's wounded, the kid is wounded also. How can you say you have a victory?
I feel
that justice was not served. Because Sagon Penn is a black man, he is free today. If he were white, I think he would have been charged or found guilty of all the crimes committed.
The fact that Sagon Penn was found not guilty on those counts does not make Donovan Jacobs guilty.
We've been through 2 years of this. The jury in this instance had ample opportunity to air all of the facts of the case, and they came to a conclusion that Penn was not guilty after almost a month's deliberation. And I think at this point that that it would be wise on our part not to go forward for a third time.
And we laughed together some days and cried together some days, and it all comes out in the end that it worked, that he wasn't guilty. And if he had been, we would have found him guilty. And I think the community needs to get behind us now and say the decision has been made, like Mike and Debbie and the rest of them have said, and stand behind us and say, you were there, you heard it all, you witnessed the whole thing, and you've made your decision. Now let's go on and let's make San Diego a better place for our kids to grow up in, and just a better place to live.
A long time since I saw him smile, but he had a big smile on his face, in other words, that when he heard the charges had been dropped there. So it really made me feel good, and he felt good too. So I like to see him smile because it's been very solemn in a long time.
But I can say, since that time, Sagon has maintained the dignity that has always been there and that he has learned in training. And I'm very proud of him. And I think that everyone who knew him remains extraordinarily proud of him.
Escape. Cold world. Escape. Escape. Cold world, y'all. Escape. Cold world. Escape. 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 Cause it's a cold world we're living in. Cold world. Brother, can I trust you as a friend? Cold world. Cold world. I know where it started and where it ends. Cold world.